Chapter 4 Review. We're going to start with question 2. It asks you for each linear equation to both list the steps required to undo the operation and solve the equation. So for question 2a, it gives you 4x equals 36. So because we are multiplying x by 4 here, in order to undo it, we're going to have to divide both sides by 4. When you divide both sides by 4, the 4's cancel, so you end up with x, and 36 divided by 4 is 9, so you end up with x equals 4. If you were to list the steps, you'd be saying that you divided both sides by 4. For question 2b, you have x plus 5 equals 9. So because you're adding 5 to the side, in order to make it disappear, you're going to have to subtract 5 from both sides. Like this. So you end up with x. These will cancel out to give you 0. And 9 minus 5 is 4. So that gives you x is equal to 4. Okay, so question C gives you x divided by 6 is equal to 10. So because you're dividing by 6 on this side, you're going to need to do the opposite, which is multiply by 6 on both sides, which would give you, so end up being an x, and 10 times 6 is 60. And for D, it gives you 6 minus x equals 16. So there's two ways you could have done this. We'll do one in blue. So you could look at it as though you have 6 minus x equals 16. So you could get rid of the minus x and add x to both sides, just so that everything can be positive. And you get a 6. These guys will go away, so cancel. And you'll get 16 plus x. So to get x by itself, you then have to subtract 16 from both sides. And then you get negative 10 is going to be equal to, these guys cancel and give you 0. I'll just leave that out. And that would equal x. You could also do it as though you have 6 minus x is 16. Subtract 6 from both sides. So these guys will give you 0. Minus x would equal 10. So you have a negative x now. So you could divide by negative 1. And you would get the same answer. So either way works. Question 3 is asking you to solve each equation and check your solution. So question 3a, it gives you 2x plus 4 is equal to 10. So you're trying to get x by itself. So you're going to get rid of the 4 first. So you do the opposite operation. So you still have your 2x. And this gives you 0, 0, and 6. So now you have 2 times x equals 6. So you have to divide by 2, giving you x is equal to 3. So now to check this, you have to plug this back into the equation. So we have 2, and our x we think is 3, plus 4 equals 10. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 4, 10, 10 equals 10. So it works. So going on to 3b, you have a divided by 5 plus 6 equals 10. So again, to get rid of the 6, you have to do the opposite operation. So then you have a divided by 5 plus 0 equals 4. You're dividing by 5, so you're going to have to multiply both sides by 5. Give you A equals 20. So to check your solution, you plug it back in. You end up with 20 divided by 5 plus 6 equals 10. 20 divided by 5 is 4 plus 6 equals 10. 10 equals 10. It works. 3c gives you negative y divided by 4 minus 6 equals 2. So we'll start with the 6. We're going to add it to both sides because it's subtracted. And you get negative y divided by 4 plus 0 equals 8. So here we can now group this negative and the 4 together, at which point you multiply by negative 4 because you've divided by 4. This gives you y equals 8 times negative 4 is negative 32. So to check your answer, you have negative 32 divided by 4 minus 6 equals 2. So negative 32 times a negative gives you positive 32 divided by 4 minus 6 equals 2. 32 divided by 4 is 8 minus 6 equals 2. 2 equals 2. It works. 3D, you have w plus 4 divided by 6 equals 3. So because you've divided, you're going to be multiplying both sides by 6, which will give you w plus 4 equals 18. Then you subtract 4 from both sides because it's the opposite operation, which gives you w plus 0 equals, which gives you 14. So w equals 14. To check your answer, you plug it into the original equation. 14 plus 4 divided by 6 equals 3. So 14 plus 4 is 18. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So 3 equals 3, which is correct. Question 4. Question 4 says that Alan takes a taxi from his house to his friend Drew's home. Their homes are 6 kilometers apart. And the taxi driver charges a flat fee of $10 plus an additional 25 cents per kilometer. This can be modeled using the equation c equals 0.25 x plus 10. And we know that x is going to be the number of kilometers traveled, and we'll use c as the cost in dollars. So they want to know how much the taxi ride is going to cost. So Alan is going to be traveling from his house to Drew's house. So he's going to be going 6 kilometers. So we're looking for c, and you know that x is going to be 6, so you can plug it into the equation and solve. So 6 times 0.25 gives you 1.5 plus 10, which gives you $11.50. So the taxi ride will cost $11.50 to Drew's house. And there you go. Question 5 asks you to solve each linear equation. So 5a, you have negative 1.5x plus 2 equals negative 1. So we'll get rid of the 2 first. So we have to subtract it because there's an addition there. So minus 2. Then you're left with negative 1.5x. This gives you 0 equals negative 3. So over here we're multiplying x by a negative 1.5. So we have to divide it by the negative 1.5. Which gives you x equals 2. So to check it, you go negative 1.5, 2, plus 2 equals negative 1. Negative 1.5 times 2 is negative 3, plus 2 is negative 1, this is negative 1, so it works. 5b. So you have a third. K plus 4 equals 7. So over here, you're multiplying by a third, which is the same as dividing by 3. So this can also be written as K plus 4 divided by 3 equals 7, because there's a 1 there. You just don't often write it because 1 times anything is itself. So we're going to be multiplying both sides by 3 to start, which would give you K plus 4 equals 21. So you're going to have to subtract 4 from both sides. So that gives you K plus 0, because 4 minus 4 is 0. It's going to equal 17. So K equals 17. So to check it, you have a third. 17 plus 4 equals 7. So you'd have your third, and then in the parentheses, you have 21 equals 7. 21 times a third, which is the same as 21 divided by 3 is 7, which equals 7, which is correct. 5c. So you have 2x minus 4, all divided by 6 is equal to 2. So we're going to start with the 6. Because we're dividing over here, we're going to multiply by 6 on both sides. This will give you 2x minus 4, because the 6's will cancel out, will equal 12. So then we're going to add 4 to both sides, which will give you 2x plus 0 equals 16. And then we have to divide both sides by 2, giving x equals 8. So then we check it. Get 2 times 8 minus 4, so all be divided by 6, equals 2. So 2 times 8 is 16, minus 4 is 12, so you get 12 divided by 6 equals 2, which is 2 equals 2, and it's correct. 5d, so you have 4a divided by 5 minus 6 equals 2. So we'll move the 6 first, so we're going to add it to both sides. So then you have the 4a divided by 5 will stay the same. This will be a 0, which will equal 8. So then multiply both sides by 5. That way we can get rid of the division over here. So you're left with 4a equals 40. And we have to divide both sides by 4. giving A equals 10. So then we have to check our answer. So you plug it back into the original equation. So you're going to have 4 times 10 divided by 5 minus 6 will equal 2. So 4 times 10 is 40 divided by 5 minus 6 will equal 2. So 40 divided by 5 is 8 minus 6. So it gives you 2 equals 2, which is correct. So then we have 5e. So 5e, you have 3x plus 5 divided by 10 is going to be equal to 2x minus 3 divided by 7. So I'm going to start working with this 10 with the idea to get rid of division, just because I personally don't like division. So we'll multiply both sides by 10, which will give you 3x plus 5, which will equal 10 times 2x minus 3 divided by 7. And then we'll do the same thing for the 7, multiplying it on both sides, which will give you 7 times 3x plus 5, which equals 10 times 2x minus 3. So now I'm going to expand each side. So 7 times 3x is 21x. 7 times 5 is plus 35, which will equal 10 times 2x, which is 20x. And then 10 times negative 3 is negative 30. So now we just have to collect our terms. So I'm going to start with my x's, and because we have 21 on the left-hand side, I'm going to move x's over that way. So subtracting 20x from both sides. So then we're left with x plus 35 equals negative 30. So you have to subtract 35 from both sides. So then you have x, so go to 0, will equal negative 65. So then you can check this. I'm going to erase this top portion here so that we can have space to check it, just because it's a bigger question. So I'll do the check in green. So we'd have 3 times negative 65 plus 5 divided by 10 equals 2 times negative 65 minus 3 divided by 7. So 3 times negative 65 is negative 195 plus 5 divided by 10, which would equal negative 30 minus 3 divided by 7. Negative 195 plus 5 gives you negative 190 divided by 10. And on the other side, you have your negative 30 minus 3 gives you negative 33, which is divided by 7. So, making more room, you get negative 19 equals negative 19, which is correct. Question 6. At a dairy, milk containing 3% butterfat is mixed with cream containing 10% butterfat to make 200 liters of reduced fat cream containing 5% butterfat. Let X represent the number of liters of 3% milk. So we know X is going to be the number of liters of 3% milk. So then they give us an equation and they're asking us to find the volume of cream and milk used in the mixture. So our equation that they've given us is 0.03x plus 0.1 times 200 minus x equals 0.05 times 200. In this equation, we know that this is representing the milk containing 3% butterfat. So this is the milk. And this portion is the cream containing 10% butterfat to make 200 liters of reduced fat cream. And this came from the fact that it is making 5% butterfat. So this is the butterfat. So to start, we're going to take our equation. So it's 0.03x plus 0.1 200 minus x equals 10. I just solved the green part. Next, I'm going to multiply this out, giving me 0.03x plus 20 minus 0.1x, which equals 10. So then we have to gather our like terms. So we have 0.3x minus 0.1x, which gives us negative 0.07x plus 20 equals 10. So we're isolating x, so we need to get rid of the 20, leaving us with negative 0.07x plus this goes to 0 equals negative 10. So we have to divide by the negative 0.07 on both sides to isolate x, which gives us x as being 142.86. Now, the question isn't actually asking us to solve for x. It's wanting to find the volume of milk and cream used in the mixture. So we need to plug it back into the various portions of the equation. So I'll do milk in red because that's what I started it as. So we have 0.03 times x, which is 142.86. Multiplying this out, we get 4.29 liters. And then for cream, which will be done in blue, we have 0.1 times 200 minus 142.86. When we multiply this out, we get 5.71 liters. So if we want to check our answer, which I will do in yellow, the question tells us that they are making they're making 10 liters in total, which we got from our 5% of the total. So when we add both of our answers, it should come to the 10 liters. So 4.29 liters plus 5.71. If you plug that into your calculator as a check, gives you 10 liters.